welcome to Animal Nonsense. I'm Jess.
I am David.
I have got something for you. Well, for a start, we should say it's Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
And on that note, I have something for you.
Thank you. Am I allowed to open it now?
Yeah, go for it.
Okay, it feels soft.
Yeah.
Oh, I've got a Christmas jumper.
In all the years I've known you, I have never known you to own a Christmas jumper, and I feel like that needs to be rectified.
Am I allowed to put it on now?
Yeah.
Okay, thank you very, very much
Very
indeed. I feel like I'm more of an ornament now than I would normally be. Oh, that's really nice. It actually fits my arm. I've got very short arms. I'd make a rubbish gorilla. And this fits really, really nicely.
It does fit you well. We'll post a picture.
That's really lovely of you. Merry Christmas. And you do have a Christmas present. It's not here right now, but it is ordered and it is at home. I just haven't wrapped it yet.
The reason I got you that is because we're going to talk about what's on your jumper.
I've got a reindeer on here.
The reason I wanted to speak about reindeers is because I have done a Christmas movie and so have worked with the most gorgeous reindeer.
You're an actor and you act in films.
I am an actor, yeah. So this is a film called Prancer, A Christmas Tale. This is actually one that my husband directed. Yeah, I just put in my audition for this small part, and like the nice thing about when we work together, me and my husband, is I've got a different surname. So my audition just goes in the pile kind of anonymously. Yeah, so got it. And filmed in Romania. You get gorgeous snowy mountains, which you just wouldn't get in the UK. So yeah, it was really good. It was during COVID time, which like had its challenges. And I don't really know what any of the crew looked like. Because everything was freezing. So everyone had like hats on and beanies on, massive coats, and then masks. So really you like could only see people's eyes. And obviously everyone's talking in Romanian. So I didn't really understand much. But it was a lovely experience.
What's the main plot of Prancer?
Right. So the main plot, young girl, dysfunctional family brought together by a magical reindeer. It was shot on location and we used the combination of a real reindeer and a puppet reindeer and also CGI, obviously, for some of the shots. But a lot of it, most of it is this real reindeer who was auditioned.
Oh, really? So was there like a lineup of reindeers pacing nervously outside?
Well, they went to a few different reindeer sanctuaries and met various reindeers. And then there was this one reindeer that stood out because she was just so calm and like really unfazed by lights, equipment,
noise. There's a lot.
Noise. I mean, everyone was really respectful. And when the reindeer was on set, it was nice and calm, but still there's a lot. And she was just like, you know how some animals are just trainable and others aren't? And she was really receptive. She only peed on set once.
That's not bad. And was it disruptive?
No, she was really good. She was actually quite small. Like you think of reindeers as being these huge creatures. And I think the males can be bigger, but she had like large Labrador energy, but really dinky. So there was lots of filming slightly upwards to make her look bigger and more majestic. And then they put these tracking marks, little tiny bits of coloured tape on her antlers, because the idea was to digitally enhance them in post to make them look a bit more impressive because she was so petite. And then right before the end of the film, she came out of the studio to just have like a break and have a little scritch. And one of the antlers just fell off.
Is that something that they do?
They shed them every year. She had 2 scenes left to film. So this antler just fell off and all that was left, just a bloody stump. It doesn't hurt them. Like, it's probably quite nice. It's probably like having a really annoying hangnail and finally getting rid of it.
But it wasn't something that would be picturesque.
It was definitely not planned. And then the VFX guy was like, it's okay. As long as she still has one antler, we can just match the other antler in to fit in with it, as long as she's still got that one antler. And then the next day, the other antler fell off.
So what did they do?
I think they just had to do, like, for the last 2 scenes, they just had to completely redo her antlers in post.
If it happened like 2 days later, it wouldn't have made
any difference. Yeah.
But for it to happen right then.
I know. She was just being dramatic.
And is that like something that happens their whole life? Like, would an adult reindeer's antlers come off and then they regrow them?
Well, reindeers are the only species of deer where the females also have antlers. There's over 40 species of deer, and reindeer's the only ones where the females have them. And the females keep them over winter, so they can use them to protect food, because food gets scarce over winter. So, but I imagine that's because they're probably pregnant over winter, so it's important that they are able to feed properly. So they keep their antlers. So in fact, the reindeer that you see pulling Santa's sleigh would all be girls, because the males drop their antlers at the end of the rutting season, so like in time for winter, and then they regrow them in the spring, and the females keep them over the winter. So all of Santa's reindeers are in fact girls.
You just make an assumption, they've got antlers, they're the male, but
yeah,
not in this case.
It's usually the case. And then I think like Rudolph is always referred to as a he.
I used to find the story of Rudolph really traumatic as a kid.
Why?
Because the other reindeers wouldn't let him play.
Oh.
It really upset me. It's like disproportionately upset me. And even now, like I have to walk out if that song comes on, it makes me sad.
No.
It's just the notion that he wasn't included. And even though it's got a happy ending, it only has a happy ending because he was extraordinary. It doesn't have a happy ending because the other reindeers were just nice to him.
Yeah.
And so I always felt sorry for him.
Oh no.
Poor Rudolph. But I didn't know that they were all girls pulling the sleigh.
Yeah, we're all girls, yeah. While we're talking about antlers, I've got something else to show you. Hang on. So this is, and we'll post a photo, one of Ellen the reindeer's actual antlers that she dropped.
Oh, so this is, Ellen the reindeer, she was the one from Prancer.
Yeah.
And this is one of the ones that came off.
Yeah.
I've never held antlers before, because I imagine that ordinarily a reindeer wouldn't let you near them.
They don't have any velvet on, because the males, I think they do sometimes grow velvet on the antlers, and then they sort of scrape it off in the autumn in time for rotting.
So when you say velvet,
like literally like a velvety outer coating.
Oh really? I didn't know that.
So they would feel completely different, because these are just kind of like, it just feels like bone, doesn't it? And then we also had the reindeer puppet, and it was just the head and the front feet. So it was like a disembodied reindeer. And then the real reindeer came face to face with the puppet reindeer, and she was not happy. She did not like it one bit.
So did she believe it was another reindeer?
I don't know. I mean, I think so, but then maybe she had that discombobulated thing where like, there's another reindeer here, but I can't smell it.
And was it specifically modelled to look as close to her as possible?
To her, yeah. Which would freak anyone out if you walked into a room and saw just like a headless version, like the head of yourself, a decapitated version of yourself. It would be terrifying.
Like if I'd have come into this room now,
there was just a floating head of you on the wall,
and it turned to look at me and someone was operating it.
Yeah.
I think I'd ring the police. Poor thing. So just so I could get it in my head, you've got the face of a reindeer.
You've got
and
like
its
the
front
head
legs.
and its front legs.
What did it have to do?
Close-up shots, or if you want to see like the hoof moving, or
so it's realistic enough that you could do close-ups with it. When you mentioned about like if you needed a close-up of a hoof, because I was reminded of, Thunderbirds.
Yeah.
And they would all be puppets, and then every now and then they would have to do something complicated like open a safe or light a cigarette, because they do smoke in Thunderbirds, or light a cigarette or something, and you would just have a puppet and then a human hand lighting a cigarette, and then it would cut back to a puppet.
Do you want to know some facts about the reindeer? They live in the Arctic and subarctic regions of North America, Europe and Asia. They undertake these enormous migrations. They can travel up to, I think it was 3,000 miles every year in search of food, really.
If my nearest supermarket was 3,000 miles away, I don't know if I'd bother eating.
Their hooves click when they walk, but it's not like the sound of the hoof on a hard surface. This is actually their tendons in their legs snap over the bones in their back hooves to make a clicking noise, and it helps them to locate each other so they can stay together. Like in a storm, if the visibility is really poor, then they can kind of hear where the other reindeers are.
That's the most adorable thing I've ever heard.
It's really clever, isn't it? They're surprisingly quiet animals. So when we got into the mix of Prancer, we were like, it's just a bit quiet. Like when there's a scene with the reindeer on, she wasn't really making any noise. So there is actually a guy, he is a really well-known voice actor called Frank Welkin, and he voiced Sven the reindeer in Frozen and Scooby-Doo and things like that. So he came in and just padded out the reindeer noises with little vocalizations.
Right, so when you watch the film back...
It's most likely a guy in a voice booth.
Isn't that remarkable? I didn't realise that they were... Because I suppose you see an animal, you assume it's an animal making the noise.
Yeah. So their main diet is, in winter, they really love a type of lichen called reindeer moss. Reindeers can see UV light. So snow reflects up to 90% of the UV light that falls on it. So it appears just white to a reindeer. But animal urine and wolf fur, which would indicate predators, appears black to them because it's absorbing the UV light. And also the lichen that appears black because, again, it absorbs the UV light. So they can pick out things more clearly as there's a sharper contrast.
And what predators would a reindeer have?
Wolverines, eagles for their calves.
It should be a ballsy eagle to pick up a reindeer
calf.
Dash off with Dancer.
Dash off with Dasher, surely. And then wolves, bears as well.
And really, a bear would just pick up a reindeer wholesale and off it went.
Their noses are very clever because obviously the air is so cold where they live. So they need to warm it up before it enters their lungs in order to help maintain their body temperature so they don't get too cold. So their noses are absolutely full, chocker, of blood vessels to warm up the cold air as it comes in. They have a really thick double coat. So they've got this inner layer of thick, soft, dense fur, and then an outer layer of this coarser fur where the hairs are hollow. So they trap air in, within the fibres of their hair. So that acts as an insulating layer. But
a puffer jacket?
Yeah, like a puffer jacket for reindeers, but it also makes them really buoyant. So they're surprisingly good swimmers.
They're like a life raft.
Yeah, basically. Their legs contain a really high concentration of oleic acid, like a natural antifreeze. It's literally also used as an ingredient in antifreeze as well, oleic acid, but it's nature's way of stopping them from freezing. Their hooves can act like crampons. So in summer, the pads of their hooves will swell to grip the softer ground, but in winter they will retract. So you've almost got this hollow pad to the hoof, and so they've got these sharp edges which can act as sort of grip onto the ice,
and that helps them grip and they're not slipping.
Grip. Yeah, they breed during the autumn rut. So the males will rut in autumn and then the females are pregnant for about 7 months. So calves born sort of May, June. But they are really good at synchronizing the births within the herd. So they'll all have their babies within a really small time frame.
Oh, really? So if you ran a reindeer sanctuary, you could book extra staff on for that couple of weeks.
I suppose you would never know when that week would fall, but they would all, probably have their babies at really similar time.
And if you have them in May, by Christmas, are they developed enough for, they're an adult reindeer, they could go on the sleigh?
They can stand within an hour of their birth. I find it wild how other creatures are so much more developed at birth than humans are.
Yeah, we're rubbish.
A human baby can't lift its own head.
I was just a bag of snot and when I was a baby.
I'm sure you're adorable. I mean, I think my guys, when they were born, they were teeny tiny. They can't really do anything apart from feed and poo.
They weren't
and cry.
They weren't walking around, certainly after an hour. Nor were any of us.
No. Their eye colour changes. Yeah, so their eyes are gold in the summer and then they change to a deep blue in winter, which helps them to see in low light levels. It is heterochromia.
After this, I would like to watch the Prancer movie. Where might people find it?
Oh, it's on Now TV.
Well, I feel really Christmassy. Yeah. And thank you for my Christmas jumper.
Oh, my pleasure.
I'm looking resplendent, I imagine. I'll have to find a mirror so I can properly get the full effect.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. That's really kind of you.
That's okay. Hey, listen, my kids are rehearsing for their Christmas show and they have been practicing their reindeer jokes.
All right, I'd love to hear them.
What do you call a reindeer that goes on holiday? A Spaindeer.
I've got another one, hang on.
What do you call a reindeer that's hurt himself? A paindeer.
Last one. I love how she delivers this joke.
Why does Reindeer like Beyonce so much? She slays.
There's a real lot of attitude to that. I enjoyed that.
Do you know what's so funny is you have a silent laugh.
It's,
You notice that?
well, it's partly I have quite an annoying laugh. So years I've tutored myself not to make a noise, because I remember I was recording an interview with someone once and they said something that really deeply tickled me for whatever reason, and then the whole rest of the interview I was just giggling away audibly, and it really bothered me. So now I've trained myself not to laugh out loud.
Silent laugh.
Merry Christmas.
Nice. Merry Christmas.
And thank you for my jumper. And you'll hear more animal nonsense.